you doing? How's life? I disappeared for a week. I know. I'm not sorry about it because it did me some good. Thank God. And yeah, how are you doing? How's life? How's everything? We're gonna do today's episode, and today we're gonna talk about passion. And by passion, I don't mean writing, singing. No, it's the passion for life. I'm so sorry about the noise, honestly, and I can do nothing about it. Passion for life is a very particular thing because somehow the whole generation, my generation, the people that are in their 20s right now, are complaining about the fact that they lost their passion for life. Oh, I don't want to live anymore. I don't know. I don't have that spark anymore. And maybe because we're running on spark, we're not running on discipline. Nobody taught us that we have to work our discipline first, then everything's gonna follow. Even if you hate it, you have to wake up, go do some chores, do some things, and have a life, have a day. I'm one of those people, by the way. Today, for instance, I woke up at 11 a.m. I hated it. I was like, oh my God. By the way, I already skipped a class and I hated that. Not a class that I gave, it's a class that I had to take. And today I have to go work on the class that I have to give. And because last week I was sick and I was depressed. Yeah. Last week I had a little depressive episode and I felt like I didn't want to do anything. I started questioning, I started spiraling, and that's why I thought, okay, I'm not gonna post anything on YouTube this week. I'm just gonna cocoon and do my cocooning rituals. And that's what I did, and honestly I feel better because I did that and I was able to control it so that it doesn't control me. By the way, you can hear the pressure cooker. I am making a healthy meal and I'm proud of myself for that. And I think that's part of the whole thing. Like when I have my passion for life, I'm healthy, I walk, I spend way less, I eat healthier, I think differently about life. Like yesterday I was in the we can say flea market where there is vegetables and stuff, and I wanted to get a butternut squash, and courgettes. And I was so happy, and while I was paying for the courgettes, someone, like two guys were fighting. One was fist fighting, the other one has a knife. And the one that's fist fighting pushed me, and he was fleeing from the guy with the big knife, and he stumbled upon me, and I was just like, what? I still have bruises on my leg because of this, because I got hurt a little bit, but depressed me would stay for a week because of this. Social anxiety me would stay for a week at home, would not do any activity, would not do anything, would probably cry about it. I didn't. I was like, oh my God, yeah, cool. Let's go home. And I walked home and I was like, yeah, thank God. I was like, thank God nothing bad happened to me, and thank God I'm strong enough. Like, I'm so proud of myself because at that moment I was like, I'm not like, why God, why this happened to me? No, I was like, and that happened very naturally and very spontaneously. I thought to myself, thank God I'm strong. I'm physically strong. So when the guy stumbled upon me, I didn't fall to the ground. No, I tripped, and then I was like, okay. And I had this serenity, and I felt, this is blessing. Like, thank God. I love God. Thank you. And yeah, walking home, I was thinking about, because that happened yesterday. So for the last few days, I was thinking, what should I talk about in this episode? And I thought to myself, how complicated this will to live or passion of life is as a subject and as a thought, because sometimes we think, oh, is it the will to make money and be successful, or is it the will to be healthier and do lots of things? Because I see a lot of people, I feel like our generation is joking about everything, and I see a lot of people even commenting on my TikTok saying, oh, I would respond, but I don't have the energy to do so. And I'm like, what? Really? And I know that you're joking about it, but are we this mediocre as a generation that we're just like, oh, I don't want to do anything. I just want to sleep and stay in bed. Look, you're not Kafka. You're not Franz Kafka. You're not gonna turn into something special most of the time. And guess what? Franz Kafka was not happy. He was miserable. Stop romanticizing miserable people in history. He was miserable and he never knew how brilliant he was. Do you want to be like that? You're not the metamorphosis kind of guy. You're not the cockroach. Stop. And I know that in this video I'm trying to be gentle and kind, but I'm not, to be honest, because at some point, especially when it comes to this subject, because I know a lot of people that are so brilliant. A lot of people are crazy brilliant, yet they're putting themselves in snooze mode and in sleeping mode and guess what? Your 20s fly. Your 30s, they're rocketing. And especially, I'm not talking to people in their teenage, because in your teenage, you feel like the whole world hates you. You feel like they're the only person who exists on earth, and it's fine. Cry about it, have fun, watch Hindi movies, dance it off, date it off, do whatever you feel like. But when you're 20 and up, you're a real person now. You're a character. You're not an NPC anymore. You have to do something. And at this point, it's okay to lose hope. Sometimes we all do lose hope. Last week I felt like shit. 2 months ago I was so sad to the point where I would be struggling with everything, with vital issues, with sleeping, eating, walking, standing up. I was uncomfortable all the time because my mental state was messed up, so my physical state was messed up as well. And guess what? I am a tall and plump woman. So I have a lot of risky things to deal with. As in, my body is not the leanest or most fit body ever. So when I spiral and get depressed, I start overeating. When I overeat, the fats in my body start making lumps. And because I have a history of lumps and nodules, I can't risk that. That's my personal case. And I know that a lot of you have worse. Some of you have diabetes. Some of you have insulin resistance. Some of you have other issues. Do you really want to play around with the real shit that you have because you're not feeling it? Because guess what? You're still gonna be alive. You don't have the balls to cut it off. You don't have the audacity to just be like, oh, I don't want to live anymore. You're just gonna be miserable, not wanting to live anymore, but you're living. And that's sad. Okay, enough with the tough love and the aggression. I want to be honest with you now, because that's the part where I'm supposed, or where I'm willing to share with you the kind truth. The kind truth is that God is there. God is always there. He's always gonna pick you up and put you in a better situation. But you have to accept that you should learn. You should become a better person. And somehow, deep down, there's a lot of goodness. You're a good person. You're just trying to be a bad person because you think it's gonna look good on you. Do you know we all remember, I guess, this scene from Social Network when this character tells the Mark Zuckerberg character, you're not a jerk. The problem is that you're trying so hard to become one. And honestly, that's the problem with a lot of people. I was never the kind of person who thinks that being a jerk is a cool thing. Given the fact that I'm not the nicest person ever. I'm not nice. I'm not sweet at all. I am honest, but polite. You gotta be polite. Being cutthroat is a good thing. I am very cutthroat. I cut a lot of friendships, a lot of people from my life because they made the joke I didn't tolerate, or because they were disrespectful to me, a way that I consider disrespectful. It's not that I don't tell them that I feel disrespected, I tell them. But why are they cut off? It's because they didn't take it seriously. I am very cutthroat with my studies, with my work. I don't tolerate shit. I don't tolerate bullshit. I don't care if you have 20 years of experience. I'm there too because I am brilliant, maybe you're not. And I am very, very mean when it comes to disrespecting those I love. If you're disrespecting someone I love, I'm gonna mop the floor with you. I'm gonna mop the floor with you. Especially, like, or if someone is talking shit about me to someone that I think is a friend, and that someone is like, oh, they said this and this, and I'm like, wait, why do they feel comfortable talking to you like that about me? Aren't we friends? And I guess that's how it goes. But I always try to be polite and humane. You have to be humane after all. Being cutthroat, being the mean one doesn't mean you're a bad person. Because guess what? It's the same thing as being a very vicious, overly sweet person. And I hate those kind of people because they're fake as shit. So, that being said, you have to be your own adult person. I know I said this when I talked about routines and all of that. I don't remember the name of the episode, but it's not the same thing now, because it's not about routines and keeping things in check. It's about the essence behind all of this. If you want to find your passion again, first of all, you have to believe that you have to find it. Because I see a lot of people who are not even trying. And they'd be like, oh, I want to feel better. And you're like, okay. When you're trying to help them, and you're trying to help them find a solution, they'd be like, no, I don't actually care. I don't actually want to find a solution. I'm just ranting about it. And if that's your case, please just think about your future self. Like, you in 10 years, are you gonna be happy about this? Or are you gonna be like, oh my god, I hate myself for this, I could have started something special. Like, yeah, last night I was talking to my best friend and we were talking about content creation. See, I have some of the best and most brilliant people in my friend group. I mainly have 3 friends, and they're not friends. They're my friends. So, and they all are very brilliant, and I always tell them, look, you're so brilliant. How about you start YouTube, or you start Instagram or something? And it's not that they're against being online. It's that they're just stalling. And my friend told me yesterday, she said, I feel like I'm gonna be the kind of people who are gonna wait for so long until it's too late, and then be like it's gonna be the same situation as our parents when they didn't buy land back in the 80s and the 70s. And I was like, yeah, true. Actually, that's true. Because in 10 years, everybody is gonna start making money off of their social media, but you're not. You still have to work a 9 to 5. And that's a case for today. I know a lot of people who are making a good amount of money from social media because they started YouTube when they were teenagers. I didn't do that. I wish I did. And however minuscule, however minor you think your decisions of today are, you never regret something you did. You regret something you didn't. Keep this in mind. That's the truth of life. You never regret something you did. Most of the time you regret something you didn't. Because you did something, okay, you can fix it later. Or at least you had the fun of it. However horrible that thing was. That's why I personally don't have regrets now. But I regret not doing a lot of things. So that being said, I know that it's a very indirect way of talking about the subject, but that's how I do it with myself. I am trying to coach you through life the same way I did with myself, and I'm doing with myself. That being said, I love you. Take care of yourself. See you in the next episode. And I guess I'm gonna post more this week. If you like my content and you like how these things are going, please leave a comment, like, share the video with your friends. And yeah, I love you all. Take care. Bye.